Hi, welcome to the Tryforce podcast, where we talk about video games, we talk about movies, anime now, apparently.
Yeah, we're fucking multimedia at this point.
That alone is going to get us copyright.
Watch the show. No.
It's the Tryforce.
Look, I don't know who can relate out there. I'm sure several people can probably relate. But I have one of the loudest internal critics in the world. Like, I everything I do... Yeah, I know, I see you shaking your head over there. Unbelievable. You know, like, sometimes whatever you do, the imposter syndrome kicks in, and it's just like, you know what? Whatever I just did is not good enough. You know, it's just not good enough. You know, so much so that I got a letter of commendation at work today. You know, I got a letter of congratulations from the rest of my staff. And because I didn't do any grading today and decided to loaf off today, I feel like a failure. And I relate to Bungie and Bungie's decision to create what they thought was rushed, and the ending of Halo 2 was rushed. So they decided they wanted to make it right, and God did they make it right with Halo fucking 3. I just want to say that, like, Bungie did great. Imagine doing something like Halo 2 and being like, not good enough.
No.
Yo, the fucking fact that Sonic Forces exists as a game, and they thought that was good.
Yeah.
To think about Halo 2 being thought of as, oh, that wasn't good enough,
But
Yeah.
internally, you know.
baffles me.
the
Absolutely floors me.
The things that get greenlit, you know.
Oh my god, yeah.
Right.
Like,
But
to see where the series is now versus like Halo 2 and Halo 3, dude, I think the Halo 2, Halo 3 gap of time was probably the greatest time in video game history.
right,
Yeah.
right. You knew it was coming, but
Yeah.
you know, Bungie, thankful. I'm almost thankful for it because it created Halo 3,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
created the opportunity. Colton and I love this game, but it also created the opportunity to speak to somebody very, very important. Colton, this is a little editing note. Make sure you put that intro way before any of this happens, because you would have been hearing a little composition by our special guest this evening, Mr. Conduit EDM. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for joining us.
Yeah, that's me.
Yo, finally we
here.
have you on the show, because like we've been playing your music since quite literal day one. And you know, it's nice to finally hear the man behind the track.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure, honestly. Like, yeah, like a literal, yeah. It's a great pleasure. you know?
Thank you for coming on, man. Like it's awesome. And that's the podcast. Thanks so much. No.
No.
All right, see you guys next week.
We really loved your reel about your shout out during one of our podcasts.
Dude, I was listening to that morning, and if I could give a little bit of backstory on that.
Please.
Yeah, please do.
I had been up all night because it was just one of those nights, you know, where you just do that. And I was like, you know, I'm getting kind of bored, but I don't want to go to sleep. And then I'm like, I could probably catch up on the Tryforce and see what's going on. And I was like, oh, Samurai Jack. And then there was like the whole thing about the tournament arc. And then I was like, oh my goodness. I think it was the sleep deprivation that gave me that idea. Because it just came to me in an instant. I was like, this
Yeah.
is going to be great.
You know what my favorite part about it was? It's like you didn't do the thing that a lot of TikTok people do, is like they get to the joke in like the first 5 seconds. You made us wait a solid 15 seconds for the punchline of that reel.
And it was like 2 seconds long.
It was insane.
It was good to wait for.
Oh my
Worth the wait.
god.
Worth the wait.
It was like a slice of pizza, you know what I mean?
It was
Or stuffed
li-
crust pizza. you
It
know?
was like
It's
waiting for my
you're
delivery.
working to that sweet bread and cheese, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
the whole point.
I literally felt like I was waiting for my fucking DoorDash. Like, it takes 45 minutes to get here, and it's gone in 10 minutes. Like, you know what I
But
mean?
damn, that was a good 10 minutes.
It was a good
I was-
10 minutes.
Being the person talking, I was sitting there like, oh my god, I'm going on for so long.
Listen,
But
yeah, and then like I was showing that to some people just because I thought it was funny, and I was like, shit. I was like, there's like 30 seconds of me just sitting there like a fucking idiot, and then like then there's the funny part, and then I'm like, why can't I just
Why
show
can't it
off
just
the
be
funny
that?
part?
No.
Reels. Like, where did the scrubber go? You know what I mean?
It's
No,
the
dude,
30
the king of the slow burn. King of the slow burn.
It's the 30 seconds of buildup of you just sitting there looking at the screen that fucking kills me every single time.
He's taking it in like it's like high politics, and I love it.
Right,
It's
yeah.
so great.
So good.
You know,
Yeah.
we're just jazzed to have you. We're just glad to have you on the show. Before we even start, Halo 3, what made this the episode that we finally fish hooked you on and got you on here for? What is your experience with Halo 3 that you wanted to be on here?
Halo 3 for me is I mean, and then this is a huge personal take, you know. It is the quintessential Halo, in my opinion. You know, it was the effective end of a trilogy that was just like so life changing for so many people and for the industry, right?
Sure.
And you know, I guess it's like, you know, you were talking about the multiplayer a little bit beforehand, and that. We're just gonna take a moment.
No, don't mind me. Go on.
Okay. For the audio listeners, Master Chief just showed up. That's
He's
great.
put on the messaging comment. Could you get some very muffled audio from you, please?
Sir, I'm finishing this fight.
That's not a bad effect.
That's not terrible.
Is it not
yeah.
really?
No, I want to see how long it takes. I
God.
want to see.
This
I'll
is
start a timer
wildly
for now.
uncomfortable, but go on.
Okay. So, Conduit, your original point. If you wouldn't mind. Colton, I'm starting to stopwatch.
The multiplayer was one of my first like online console experiences, next to like, you know, like Modern Warfare 2 and stuff like that. Because like I didn't have Xbox Live until the Doritos shirt is really bringing that whole thing together. Just to put that in there as a side note.
I liked how he moved his headphones. That was my favorite part about this Master Chief helmet shenanigans that's going on
I
right
moved
now.
my headphones like they're fucking doing a thing at all.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I can't
God.
wait. I want you to fucking boil in there. Keep going.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take it off now.
Oh, good. All right.
Oh, baby. Oh,
well-
my goodness.
You wanted to be
Helmet,
here,
though.
by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
I love-
This is a voluntary thing. So
This is about how it goes with me and the homies. So
By the way, you lasted under a minute, but
I know.
Just wanna
It's
let
just-
you know.
That's totally fine. I'm fine being a coward. That was a nightmare. I forgot that I wore that for Halloween 2018, and I wore that for a whole day. And I literally took it off of my head and I threw it across my lawn. And I'm just like, I felt like that scene from Fairly Odd Parents when that kid gets like fried by the dragon and then he just gets back up after he's wished back to life. He's like,
oh yeah.
I can breathe. I can fight.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times in like day-to-day life where that just comes up.
Yeah, no, it's
I'll
true.
change. I'll switch contacts or something. You know, put my contacts in. I'm like, I can see. I can fight. You know,
Oh my god.
or this, that, or whatever. You know.
As glasses wearers, we can both definitely sympathize.
Oh, of course.
But
Oh my eyes are dog shit. I just wear contacts.
Yeah.
we're so pleased. We're so pleased to have you. We're so pleased to be talking about. I'll have to agree with you. One of the best Halo game. One of the best multiplayer experiences of Halo. And I feel. Yeah, what's up?
If you would have asked me yesterday about Halo 3's multiplayer experience, I would have a definite.
Yeah.
My opinion would be the polar opposite.
Oh boy.
Really?
Oh boy, mine as well.
I'm so interested. Tell me.
Me and Conduit were doing a nice little Halo stream, and Nicole Conduit and I were going to go through Reach. We're going to do the campaign. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
We're having a blast.
Sure.
Nicole starts getting
absolute blast.
tired because
Absolute blast.
she works a lot, so she's getting tired. She goes to bed. I'm like, yo, Conduit, I'm not tired yet. You want to go do some fucking SWAT matches, some double big team battle? And that was the worst idea we had that evening because we got clapped in big team battle.
Absolutely.
We got absolutely slaughtered. It was not even
the Master Chief sweaties were
the
out.
sweaties. The Reach sweaties were out in droves.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday.
Sweaties.
And I
Oh
think
my God.
we were coming off that high.
Oh
of,
yeah.
Whooping ass in the campaign. It's
Yeah,
I can,
we're
I
like,
can do
this
anything right
could,
now.
like,
I can run a
we at
marathon.
least can
I
do
can be the president.
something.
Let's just do it.
I'm a god.
I'm a god right now. Covenant can't stand a chance. And then
Just
know.
fucking, and then we get into SWAT, and like it's so terrible to see the stream. Like if you were to take the scrubber and go from the campaign to our SWAT match, and just go from me going, "Oh, this is a lot of fun. We're doing it. This is a really good story." Scrub immediately to me and SWAT going, "Can I just exist for 5 seconds? Can I just be alive for 5 seconds?"
No,
But-
can't be done.
Oh,
but
it's
you see,
so
the thing
sad.
is I that reminded me in that moment of all those other moments playing Halo 3 multiplayer. But
Yeah.
even then, I still look back on it so fondly.
I was 14
because-
again for like an hour.
Yes.
You know, like all that mattered to me. Like I literally just had the impulse of, what am I gonna go play after this? Like I'm going to bed. Do I have school tomorrow? Like my brain went, okay, so what do I have to do after this? I have to do fucking homework or some shit. Like,
Yeah. My mom gonna yell at me.
oh god, yeah. I was like, oh my god, it was.
My
so
dad gonna
good,
ask me if I'm winning, son.
Yeah.
Are you?
Oh man. No, God, no. Me
So-
and Conduit rage quit so fucking fast too.
And that's fair, and that's totally fair, because you know what, people are sweaty, as you said. People
Yes,
are
they
tryhards.
are.
But I think that nobody is trying harder than the people that is consuming the Halo deep lore, like the books and specifically the comics, because Halo 3 actually had a tie-in comic, Halo Uprising, that occurred in the time between Halo 2 and Halo 3, just for the folks out there that didn't know. So the start of the game is after those events, where Master Chief arrives on Earth in East Africa, where he's famously found by Johnson, Sergeant Major Avery Johnson, and the Arbiter.
He knows what the
Leading-
ladies like.
Leading to my favorite quote ever, when they find 117 and he is just like sort of like in like his armor locked up or something, so they stop it, and then he is alive, and Johnson goes, "You crazy fool, you always
I
jump."
watched the cutscene movie and quoting one of the Marines, "How far do you think he fell? 2 kilometers, easy." Just 2 kilometers, casually,
just fine.
just a
No-
casual
no problem.
stroll through the atmosphere. You know,
No problem.
no problem, easy peasy.
And one day you're gonna land on something as stubborn as you are, and I don't do bits and pieces. It's such a great line.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just
That
such a
man-
great opening.
That man was a one-liner factory. Like that's he was so good. Whoever wrote Avery Johnson's lines, just please, I hope they're doing other stuff right now. I hope they're doing other games. I hope they're doing so many other games. Like, and
So-
then we get the coolest part of that reveal, which after we see Johnson, obviously, I
Yes,
think
the
it
Arbiter,
happens yeah. Oh my God. Obviously, we see the Arbiter come up, and we know what happened
Right.
at the end of Halo 2. That the Arbiter and the Marine, oh my God, what was her name? Miranda Keyes. So the Arbiter,
Keyes, yeah.
Miranda Keyes, and Johnson all went after Tartarus, and they got the index from him to stop him from firing Halo. Chief doesn't know that. He was off planet at the time, so the Arbiter obviously decamos in front of them, and he goes up and puts a gun in his fucking mouth. And Johnson's just like, easy there. He's one of ours now. He's with us. Oh my God. He's like, we don't
This
need...
war is hard enough without you two trying to kill each other.
And then the most
Oh.
iconic line in Halo 3, just the Arbiter just snaps his jaws at Chief and goes, "Were it so easy."
Oh my God.
Like,
First words out of his mouth.
oh my
Chills.
goodness.
King.
What a shit talking king. I love him so
Right.
much.
Dude,
So-
and can I mention the fact, like,
Please.
so the only other game or piece of media really that was kind of like available to the mainstream public, that kind of like depicts the relationship between Arbiter and the Chief.
Yeah.
Was Halo 2, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm sure they maybe had some some other stuff that would maybe like detail kind of like how that was. And but it's like right from the beginning of Halo 3 to the very end, it's like these guys are like best fucking friends. Like you know what I mean? Like
It's
they are like such a
amazing.
dynamic duo, and they build that so quickly,
Yeah.
and so effectively.
I mean, because
think.
they come from similar trials. The Chief obviously going through the entire Spartan 2 program, being literally kidnapped as a child and forced to fight, and forced to fight a war that he really didn't have any idea what the fuck was going on. He was just kind of following Halsey's orders. And, when the Arbiter was obviously coming up the ranks in the Covenant, he was a Sangheili general. And then when the Sangheili joined the Covenant, he was this big bad. Like, he was a huge problem for humanity. And he was just doing the thing that he was trained to do. And then when he was exiled, he was kind of thrown in with all of these, I don't want to say rejects. He's kind of thrown away as a suicide mission specialist. Like the Arbiter the Arbiter is sent to die. That is the whole thing about it. But the Arbiter is also in Sangheili culture this Master Chief like character where he's just supposed to be this unbelievable badass. He's supposed to be the avatar of the Sangheili race. He's supposed to be the pinnacle, and the Arbiter is kind of just reduced to this thing. So the Arbiter is like going and trying to get it back and trying to reclaim this, and they've been through similarly intense trials. They're similar, comparable warriors, and they both know that both sides, both of the things they were doing, fighting each other, is not going to do anything to help anybody.
Yeah. Not going to fly anymore.
Especially when both parties externally were already on the same page, right?
Yeah, it's kind of
Pretty much.
The Chief kind of just learned, like, oh shit, they had their own shit to deal with, and well, if we just team up, we can say fuck the Prophets, and maybe we can fix this shit.
Right.
Because
Like,
we've been replaying Reach and stuff, right?
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
No, we're
my
good. Keep
God.
We
That's
were playing
a
Reach.
whole other episode
on stream.
Oh,
And just it's like even like the Arbiter and his forces, the small force, the small sort of army that he has at his disposal gives humanity such like a massive leg up. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, the
Like,
Arbiter.
even that little bit, right?
Before we see the Arbiter in anything, he's kind of in Reach, where his forces. Jul Vadam is the commander of the force that destroys Reach.
Right.
So the Arbiter is responsible for Reach.
Right.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy to think about that. And to see how far he's fallen and how he's got to literally just climbs the other side. He's like, nah, fuck y'all, I'm out of here.
Right.
I love
And
that.
it's like a really sick redemption arc, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that the Arbiter is working with the UNSC, we get the ability to say the Chief and company, including the Arbiter, return to a UNSC outpost where previously mentioned Miranda Keyes and Lord Hood plan a final effort to stop the Covenant leader, the High Prophet of Truth, from activating a Forerunner artifact the Covenant have excavated. The Chief clears anti-air Covenant defenses so Hood can land in the east of Earth's ships against the Prophet. However, Truth activates the buried artifact, creating a slip-space portal which he and his followers enter. A flood-infested ship crash lands nearby, and Elite forces alive and vitrify the flood-infected areas of Earth, stopping the threat.
This level was like, first of all, it's like one of the first levels that you go through in Halo 3. And you just got done with the flood in Halo 2. You just saw how fucking horrific they were. And to know that you're on Earth and a fucking flood ship just comes out of a wormhole and crashes on Earth, knowing everything that you know about the flood, wherever they tread,
That's a problem.
that's it.
Yeah, big problem.
That's
a
it.
problem.
Like, it's wherever they are, done. You are not getting rid of that. And it's just so scary when that happens, because you just fought off the whole army with truth. You just chased truth through this wormhole, and then all of a sudden now you have to deal with this. And this level was so well designed, so scary. This was like a horror level, and I loved it. The flood coming out of literally every tiny little crevice in this base, just, oh my lord, it was beautiful. And the green fog that was everywhere in the level, like, just crazy, man.
Spooky.
It was exceptionally dark as well.
Yeah, very dark.
Everything was on fire.
It was literally you and the Arbiter just trying to get to the end of this shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, so cool though.
Truly. So let's move on, shall we?
Yes, please.
All right. So, so following a message from our girl, Cortana, left aboard the flood ship, the chief arbiter, elites, Johnson, Keyes, and their troops follow the Prophet of Truth through the portal. However, joining them is a little robot by 3 numbers and 2 names. 343 Guilty Spark, who aids the chief, sort of, as he has no function to fulfill after the destruction of his ring world, which was what the prophets were found, basically. Was a Halo ring, and they tried to detonate the Halo ring, essentially. And 343 is now a 343 Guilty Spark. The robot is now kind of like almost like a refugee of the
Yeah, he's like a free
conflict,
agent. He's a free agent, pretty much,
so to
like,
speak.
Yeah, he's like, I literally have no other purpose. So, what the fuck you need me to do?
343 Guilty Conduit just got the name
I just looked over
changed.
there and I was like, wait, what the
Let's
hell?
go.
Yeah, we change the Discord name every time, so please feel free
Oh
to
yeah,
use
should we talk about our Discord names, because they're pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I'll go first. I think mine's a little easy to spot. My Discord name for this week is UNSZ.
I love
not
that.
UNSC.
That was clever. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you were on it. Got the eyes of the hawk over here.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
I saw it change. Like I saw it happen. So I was like, funny.
I had a spark of genius, no pun intended. Actually, yes, pun intended.
Nice.
Nice.
So I put my Discord name as Were It So See Easy.
Or it's so easy. Good shit. Good
I
shit.
can't forgive you for what you did.
Oh god, that line too. That's such a cool one. It's Lord Hood. Lord Hood is such a cool character.
The ship's
I love
destroyed
Lord
Reach
Hood,
for 20
but
times,
dude,
so.
he gets uglier and uglier with every
Yes, he
subsequent.
He
Man,
fucking needs a Lord Hood, bro.
Man looks
Right,
like
yeah, just
fucking
go ahead and-
Palpatine, but it's fine. It's just
I think he might be like the video game sort of like. Here's how wrinkle physics are coming along. You know what I mean?
he's the tech demo for Wrinkle.
He's the tech demo for wrinkly old men.
Thank God. Thank God.
Oh, I love that.
Where would From Software be without it? Thank God.
Right.
Traveling.
In Halo 5, he just looks like a fucking schnauzer.
Traveling through the portal, the humans and elites discover an immense artificial structure known as the Ark, far beyond the edges of the Milky Way galaxy. Here, the Prophet of Truth can remotely activate all of the Halo rings at once. Holy shit.
yeah.
Bad. Very bad. End of universe bad.
Yeah.
Not
Like-
the thing a religious nut should have his hands on.
Yeah, I
Certainly
really
not.
don't think we should be trusting Cosmic Jim Jones with this shit. You know, like, just, oh man.
Yeah, no, it just seems strange that, like, they're like, okay, we're going to activate all the Halo rings and we're going to go on the Great Journey. We're going to pass over into the Great Beyond. It's like Heaven's Gate nonsense. Like, it's really
It
like
is.
the
I mean, it's
idea that,
literally
like-
a Heaven's Gate. Like, that's
Like, Like these these aliens are so bound by this ideology that like because they are, because they're the Covenant, because they are, fighting for this to happen, that they're eventually going to receive their great reward in the afterlife. It's a great kind of nod and a great kind of like screw turning on the idea of kind of like a religious war, on an idea of like religious warfare. And I just always respected that about Halo overall's world building. And Halo
those undertones really didn't hit me until like I got to like college, I want to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like I'd been playing Halo since I was like a young lad. And, there's like prophets and zealots, and there's like this, everyone talks all fancy in the Covenant side.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it was like, oh my God, like this is a religion gone nuts.
Yeah, I mean, like I always knew when I was a kid, like, oh yeah, obviously they're playing on church shit, that's cool. But the implication and the weight of that didn't hit me until college, like you said. And like I just remember sitting there going, you hear all these like podcasts and stories and these horror movies about these horrible church doings, and you learn in history that the church has not exactly been great for humanity. And it's so interesting to draw the parallels, like, wow, this is literally just what would happen if a death cult got universal. Like if a death cult went galactic. This is it. This is exactly what would happen. It's just these three fucking dudes going around and convincing these different species and to do their bidding, which is insane. They convinced the Sangheili, they convinced the Jackals, they convinced the Grunts, they convinced the Jiralhane, they convinced all of these things.
Yeah.
Like, none of their shit was really built by them. It was all these different races that they've fooled into contributing to this great journey.
Right.
Truly.
Truly. Oh my God.
It's so crazy to think about it too, right? Because it's like, yeah, every enemy that you see in Halo is from a different part of the the universe, effectively, right?
Truly.
Yeah.
Or the galaxy. I don't know what the real actual scale of how
you got it. I think you managed to grab one of the more important definitions in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot of distance between all of these races, and then all of a sudden they're just all building ships and conquering worlds and doing all this stuff in search of the rings, for the great journey and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And it's just like crazy. It's like that must have been like a really convincing elevator pitch.
Especially, especially for the
shows up at your
Sangheili.
front door, then it's this weird eye stalk looking motherfucker. And he's like, hey, we're gonna go find these giant space things and go on a journey or some shit. I don't know.
Yo, I
Listen,
can't believe
we're all
Gilbert-
gonna die, but we are special.
But-
like we are.
Yeah. But once we're dead, it'll be all right.
The Arbiter's
It's all-
ancestor is just like, I'm gonna listen to Gilded Earthworm Jim over here. Just-
Yeah.
The flood arrive aboard the Covenant ship High Charity in full force, beginning to infest the installation. The Prophet of Truth captures Sergeant Johnson as he needs a human to use Forerunner technology. Keyes is killed attempting a rescue, and Johnson is forced to activate the rings. Our good friend from Halo 2, Gravemind, forges a
Good
truce with...
friend.
The whole Gravemind chief and Arbiter working together in that little bit is just like, it's so weird, but it feels really, I don't know, there's so many emotions going on. It's like, they must really fucking hate like this guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is the Flood, right?
I mean-
a sentient virus thing,
I mean, you think about it. This is the only thing that can stop them. This is the only installation that can pose really any kind of a threat to the Flood. And as we learned in Halo 1, it doesn't kill the Flood, it kills their food. So the Flood would just die out, and, so would everything else. But, this is desperate times for Gravemind. Gravemind's like, oh, fuck.
It's like, if I don't help these two,
yeah.
meat sacks
Yeah.
on legs.
Exactly. Like I'll
I'm
leave
gonna
them
be in trouble.
alive. I'll leave them alive. I'll send the fucking combat forms after these things, and we'll get it done. And the second I'm safe, then we're all bets are off.
We'll eat them
Yeah,
afterwards.
exactly.
Right.
But seeing the green reticle over the flood, man, was so weird.
Yeah, it's like,
You don't need to hit these. Gravemind forces a truce with the chief and arbiter to stop the Prophet of Truth and defeat the remainder of his army, rescuing Johnson and halting the installation's activation. After the arbiter kills Truth, Gravemind turns on the chief and arbiter. I just need to talk about the arbiter killing the Prophet of Truth real quick.
Please.
yes.
I am the voice of the of the gods or
I
whatever.
am the voice of the covenant.
And I just like, and so then you must be silenced. And he just drives the energy sword through him. So fucking good, bro.
I'm
To this
getting
day,
the chills.
everything to me.
I was
Everything
actually
to me.
watching the sort of cutscene mashup movie on YouTube beforehand.
Always good to have. Always good to do before one of these.
And just before that scene where Truth dies and everything, and before Keys shows up, and Prophet's trying to get Sergeant Johnson to activate the rings. Johnson with his one-liner prowess, he's like, can't start your own party. And Truth looks at him and
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
love
I
it.
must admit, I do need you, but no one will be alive to remember that lie, or something like that. Or something, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck. It's like, I totally forgot about that. That was like such a good line.
Yeah.
And
So many
this is
great-
Prophet of Truth talking about lying, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the whole
It's just
thing.
so well written. I was like, God, that was such a good moment.
Is it like the Prophet of Truth, like the Prophet of Peace, or like something like that?
Yeah.
The
Like,
prophet of truth,
Obviously not.
regret, and fuck. What was the third one?
We could look it up.
Marlon's gonna be so mad that we didn't invite him.
Marlon's
on.
gonna be really mad.
So, the Chief, Arbiter, and Guilty Spark discover that the Ark is constructing another Halo to replace the one the Chief had previously destroyed in Halo DOS. The Chief decides to activate this Halo. The Ring World would eliminate the flood infestation on the Ark, while sparing the galaxy at large from destruction. At large! Imagine! That's the stakes. It's like, well, it won't destroy the whole galaxy.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
To activate the ring, Chief rescues Cortana, who has the activation. I swear to God, for whatever reason, I almost said Activision. Who has the
Because Microsoft
activation?
owns it now, so.
Who has the activation index of the destroyed Halo from High Charity and destroys the city. Fucking Cortana, bro. I think that she's just like kind of the bread to Chief's butter. Like he's just able to go places, take her out of the USB in his head, and just place her other places, and then she just does all of the heavy lifting of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. It's so cool. She's the brains behind Chief. Chief is just the raw blast his way into any situation, kill literally everything in the room, and Cortana does all the tech stuff. And it's they're the perfect combo in this world of overwhelming technology. They're the perfect combo. So
Correct. Arriving on the new Halo, Cortana warns that Gravemind is trying to rebuild itself on the Ring World. The Chief, Arbiter, and Johnson travel to Halo's control room to activate the ring. Guilty Spark explains that because the ring is not yet complete, a premature activation of it will destroy it and the Ark. 343
with
Guilty
it.
We
Spark.
have the next betrayal in within the past 15 minutes.
whenever I hear Guilty Spark, there's a reason I want to go for a bat. You know what I mean? Just like
You see that meme of the dude winding up?
yeah, that's me.
So 343 does not want the Ark destroyed. Does not want it to happen. Does not want this plan to go.
And he's
through.
also getting his Halo rebuilt pretty much.
yeah,
So
for free.
yeah.
Like,
He's like, oh, sick, dope.
thanks, guys.
Isn't
Appreciate
it amazing that you can just fucking rebuild that shit though? Like the Ark
It just-
just
it's-
notices one's gone and just fuck.
Yeah.
Let me put up another one. Like,
Yeah.
how fucking crazy is that?
That's just a testament, I think, to just the level of advancement that that the Forerunners had achieved, right?
Absolutely, and where humanity is going, according to them, according to the Halo lore.
Yeah.
so to speak. When Johnson ignores this warning, Guilty Spark fatally wounds him to protect his ring. And thus we lose
Bastard.
Sergeant Major Avery Johnson,
Bastard.
who that's a hard loss.
Yeah,
That's a Halo 1 to now loss. Like,
his last words were just so Avery Johnson. Just throws the Spartan laser at you and goes, "Kick his ass."
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have to categorically disagree with you, Colton. Those are not his last words, I believe. Although the Chief destroys Guilty Spark, Johnson soon dies of his injuries. Chief activates the ring and escapes the ring's self-destruction on the USNC frigate Forward Unto Dawn. You need the human DNA to activate Forerunner technology, and obviously he's going to set the ring to explode, so Johnson's last words are actually, "Send me out with a bang."
Oh no,
That's
no,
right.
no! It's doesn't
Which
that
one?
happen before? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Never mind. You're
I'm
correct.
almost certain. I am almost
You,
certain.
I
'Cause
believe,
they're
are correct.
doing like the bro fist thing, and they're like,
Oh yeah,
you
because he
man,
goes
you
to
know?
help Johnson. He goes to help Johnson. Yeah, send me out with a
Right.
bang.
It's
like, "We're getting
That's
you
it.
out of here," and he's like, "Nah."
Send
you're
me
not.
out with a bang.
Send
Yeah.
me out with a bang. Oh my god.
However, the force of the Halo's blast causes the slip space. That's what I'm trying to say. Slip space.
It's a tough one.
Portal to collapse, resulting in the only the front half of the Forward Unto Dawn carrying the Arbiter, making it back to Earth. Rough.
Truth be told, I did forget about that, and I was like, "Wait,
Yeah.
how did Arbiter get back?" And then I'm like, "That's right, because only half the ship made it."
Yeah,
This is what the podcast is for. This is what the podcast is for.
Yeah. Remember Arbiter just taking the fucking helm? He's just like, "Yo, I'm gonna fly this shit." Like,
Yeah.
I've never been in here before, but fuck it, I'll wing it.
I do think Cortana might have had a little bit of a hand in getting that ship going.
Maybe,
Too.
Like
I
she
think-
always does.
Like
you
she warmed it up. Like,
Yeah. She was
went
getting the
started
seats
it
warm,
beforehand.
you know.
oh god.
Right. So I mean I think that it only shows the quality of Halo 3's storytelling. It only shows that it is a game that is here to, as was said earlier, kind of be that ending part of a series. And unfortunately, we gotta say goodbye to Johnson, and we gotta get separated from Chief in order for it to happen.
Also, we got to say goodbye to Miranda Keyes.
Yeah.
I thought she was one of the better, like, all right, look, I know Commander Keyes in Halo 1 was a fucking Chad. I loved him. But Miranda Keyes, I will say, one of the more competent UNSC higher-ups.
Yeah. Really cool line. One of my favorite, when they're evacuating and the Prophet of Truth comes in. They're all underground. I don't remember what the level is. It's the one where Last One Out hit the lights. My favorite level of Halo 3 is. And, you know, the Prophet of Truth comes on. Is like, "You are all of you vermin," you know, shivering in the dirt. And they're all evacuating, and a soldier asks, "Where are we going, Captain?" She goes, or whatever, Lieutenant Keyes, and she goes, "To war." So cool. Great character. But, you know, I feel like Johnson that's an emotional loss.
Yeah.
You know, while it may be like a structural loss with Keyes, it's an emotional loss for Johnson because we knew Johnson.
And we knew that he knew what the ladies liked.
Oh, for God's sake!
I can't believe I should have just kept talking.
Yes.
And now
gotta tell you, how many times I've had that thought?
you join Z and Rain in their every podcast
Is this?
with me.
Am I initiated? Is that?
Yeah,
is that what-
yeah. That's
is that
it.
That's it.
That's it.
You've made it
Sure,
through.
buddy. Congratulations.
You've survived the hazing.
Please
nice.
go on, otherwise he will.
with with Keyes, right? Kind of like comparing like the type of characters that they are, right? You know, Johnson's like he's got boots on the ground, you know what I mean? He's in the trenches with everybody, right?
True.
And he's like if we're separating like normal people from like the Spartans, like he's at the top of the food chain in regards to like ground forces and like the military forces, right?
True.
And then there's like the logistics side, and then there's that hierarchy, right? And then there's like Lord Hood, Commander Keys, Miranda Keys, or I guess both Commander Keys, right? You know, like her father and her.
And Lieutenant Keys, yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't remember which ranking. I thought anyway. But yeah, it's just like there's those sort of, different sort of sides of the UNSC where they're both doing completely different things, but equally as important. Right? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Correct.
Just weird side thought.
No, I liked it. So even though we have the one half of the ship headed to the Earth, that half we figure out what's going on, and then we figure out what the back half is doing. A memorial service is held on Earth for the fallen heroes of the Human Covenant War, during which the Arbiter and Lord Hood briefly exchange words regarding the fallen Master Chief. And Colton, since you brought it up earlier,
Fallen Master Chief, yes.
I thought it might be good to bring up that there is a callback to the first scene in the game in this scene when Lord Hood, describes the Master Chief being killed. The Arbiter expresses doubt that the Master Chief is dead by saying, "Were it so easy."
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I
Really
honestly
cool.
think that line can be interpreted a few different ways. Like, because Hood is like, I can't believe that he's dead. And when I first heard that, I thought that, Arbiter was expressing like, like it's hard for him to believe as well. You know what I mean? That he's gone.
That's true. I never interpreted it like that.
I thought.
Ever. That
Right,
was
and
crazy.
I'd never thought of it that way either, and I think that is a really, really good way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, he could also be thinking, the word "so easy" thing could be like, "Wow, it was that fucking easy,"
Oh yeah, that too. I guess.
Yeah,
Like, wow, what a chump.
Yeah,
Died in a
like
slip space accident.
Fucking nerd.
yeah. I always thought it
Lame.
to be what I think everyone else thought it to be, which was, "Were it so easy," just no, he's fucking alive. Like,
Yeah.
come on now,
I think that's what the line is kind of meant to imply.
Like,
I
there's
never
literally
thought of it
no
that
way that killed him. So just wait. So
So after the memorial service, the Arbiter and his Sangheli brethren depart for their home planet of Sanghelios. Meanwhile, the rear half of the Forward Unto Dawn, the back half, drifts into unknown space. Cortana drops a distress beacon, but acknowledges that it may be many years before they are rescued. As Master Chief enters a cryonic sleep, Cortana confides in him that she will miss him. But he comforts her by telling her, quote, "Wake me when you need me." And
I think it.
yeah, go on, please.
I think it with that cutscene, it's important to remember that you can't get that cutscene unless I think either you beat it like on legendary.
If the
wait
game
for
is
the
completed on legendary difficulty, the scene continues to show that piece of the Forward Unto Dawn,
Yes.
drifting towards an unknown planet, setting up the events of Halo 4.
Yes.
yeah,
So yeah, that's good.
I wasn't sure if you were. Yeah, I was like, I thought it would be, because
But
I'd almost forgot about that until you were describing it. I was like, oh shit, that's right, that was the legendary scene.
Yeah, you get the "Wake Me If You Need Me" scene no matter what you complete it on. And the whole time, Cortana's been like flashing into your brain and has been giving you these cryptic messages. One of my favorites, of course, being during my favorite level of Halo 3, Last One Out, Hit the Lights, where she says, "This place will be your home," and then there's a giant explosion, and it's like, you may have died, and it says, "This place will be your tomb."
You guys want to talk about the multiplayer?
I absolutely do. 100%.
yes, the fuck I do.
The campaign's done. Let's talk about the multiplayer.
Oh, dude, do you know what I really want to talk about really like in depth, but I probably don't have enough time to discuss it, is
What?
the addition of one of the coolest modes in Halo history, a staple from here on out. It is the Forge mode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, my
God.
God.
Give me all of that. Give me the ability to edit maps. I actually had a map on Xbox Live featured for a week because I made a racing map in the Foundry level.
Classic.
And I made it go outside the bounds of the actual level, and to get back in, you have to glitch force your way back in.
Oh, good.
It
Dude,
was
I
so
really
cool.
wonder if I ever played that level because you said it was on Foundry, right?
Yeah, it was on Foundry. There was like 3 floors. I made 3 different floors, and I think the first lap is where you went outside the boundaries of the game.
Yeah.
So.
Because I'm sure I can speak for both of you guys that, we were all playing like the hot maps, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
All of the hottest maps were played.
You might have played it at some point.
Isn't
Which is
that
insane.
crazy?
That's just fucking crazy. Yeah.
That's so cool. Like, if you just happened to be playing within that week, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God. I love
Or even
the
then,
Forge.
even beyond the featured thing, just how everything kind of ends up moving down the grapevine, I guess.
Oh,
you could
yeah.
say.
Totally. Like, I just remember endless nights of me and my friends in Forge mode not even making anything. We just fucking killed each other with props.
Yeah.
fucking around.
I just stamped people out with tanks. Like, it was so good.
What I loved about Forge the most was all of like the sort of like auxiliary sort of game modes, like the Jenga,
Yeah.
and like the duck hunt thing, I think is what they called it, like where
Yep.
there was like people up in a sniper's roost and you were having to complete sort of like a parkour maze essentially.
Yeah. It gave way to so many things that are canon. Well, not I wouldn't say canon, but they're official in Halo right now. Like Griff Ball
The
was
fuel
a
rod
fucking-
cannon, right? That's what you're
No, yeah, totally. Yeah, got you. But Griff Ball is now an actual official game mode, and
Yeah.
it's just Infection is a game mode now, which I think is so cool. Like,
Speaking of Griffball, that's a red versus blue reference.
yes, which is also crazy.
And there is a red versus blue Easter egg in my favorite level, which once again is Last One Out Hit the
Last One Out
Lights,
Hit the
if
Lights.
anyone has ever checked that out.
Oh yeah.
I think you have to be playing on Legendary for it to pop, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
yes.
But, I mean, that's insane that it was a game mode that was completely created from an outside of Halo perspective and is now in an official Halo game.
Yeah.
And, it's just, I have to chat about my favorite game mode in multiplayer, which is the combination of the use of 2 specific weapons, the sniper rifle and the shotgun
That's it.
for the shotty snipers. Oh my god.
I was playing that earlier today. I was playing Halo 3 Shoddy Snipers, and let me tell you how many fucking cheeks I clapped earlier this afternoon. It was staggering. I adore that mode so much. It's
Gentlemen.
so much fun.
Gentlemen, let me take you back to the Bush administration for a second.
I believe that man and fish can live together.
Let me take you back to Halo 3 multiplayer. I was playing Shoddy Snipers on the level where there's the 2 bases and there's like the forest area between. There's like the cave
Valhalla.
off to the right. What's that?
Valhalla.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
Valhalla.
it.
And I had just the sweetest snipe setup. I was zoomed in double, so I was right on the head, and it was just so nice. And this guy thought he was hidden, and he wasn't hidden. I saw him. I had him. I pulled the trigger on my Xbox 360 white wired controller that went into the console.
Arguably,
Better.
the wired gave you an advantage.
Better.
True.
Much better.
Low latency.
Red Rings of Death. On that moment.
Bro.
On that very moment, Red Rings of Death had to send it back to Microsoft.
Oh
So,
my god.
Do you remember a time when our consoles could critically fail for absolutely no reason, and it was
Yeah,
just a
I
considered
remember
part?
when mine did.
God,
And
I
thank
still
goodness
have
it was still under warranty.
I still have my Xbox that I believe is still Red Ring of Death right now.
No.
So it's the original white Xbox 360 console. I have it in my guest room. It's so cool. Like, oh, Conduit's about to flex. He's about to flex. The man is
Where
about
is it?
to
Where
flex.
is it?
Here he
Where
comes.
is it? He's gone. He's out of his seat, folks.
I gotta say, do you know what my favorite feature of the Xbox 360 was? By a huge margin. Actually, you know what? I'll wait till Conduit comes back.
This whole time, we've been talking about the 360.
All right, look, I had my Master
This
Chief
one-
helmet, so this is only fair.
This is an exclusive look for the video feed. But here is my Xbox 360. All right. It did
Okay.
red ring. I did send it in. It did get fixed. But check out this fucking bad boy.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's
baby!
nice.
Ooh,
very
that's
nice.
it. Yeah,
That's the Halo. That's the Halo edition, I believe.
That is indeed the Halo 3.
That's like
Xbox
the-
360.
That's
Wild.
the second generation 360. Hold on. You know what? Now that we're doing this, hold the fuck up. Hold on.
Okay.
You
All
guys
right.
ready for this? Hold on.
Okay, well, Halo debuted to commercial success. I guess I have to do something while this is happening. It grossed 170 million on its day of release, and 300 million on its first week. It helped to double the sales of the Xbox 360, best-selling video game of 2007. Overall, 14.5 million copies. And it started a game prequel of Halo 3 ODST in 2009, and then Halo 4 released in 2012. Is he
Can
back?
we talk about ODST a little bit?
Sure.
Since
Let's go.
it's kind of in the name, and I mean, it's sort of. I don't know. I guess to
yeah.
touch on it just a little bit for the viewers.
Go for it, please. Please.
It being that sort of like that gap being bridged between 2 and 3, right? That's kind of like what's going on there.
True.
Not getting too deep, but just getting like that sort of Earth Halo 2 feel in a much more dark environment was so cool in ODST.
Yeah, I think it was like very like investigative. It was really cool. I liked it.
Oh man.
And obviously the ODST armor is fire.
Oh yeah, ODSTs are badass.
Yeah,
Almost
speaking-
as badass as Spartans, I think.
Speaking of fire, you showed a fantastic Halo version of the Xbox 360, but do y'all remember this fucking doorstop?
Doorstop.
It looks heavy. It looks heavy.
It's very heavy.
When you were walking back into frame, it just looked like you were holding like a fucking ham sandwich. The thing looked so tiny in your hands.
Yeah, dude, this is the original Gen 1 Xbox 360.
Yeah, that thing. If you plug that thing in right now, it would explode.
That thing is a bomb.
This thing has about as much RAM as a floppy disk. Like,
Dude, that
it's
thing
just-
doesn't even have HDMI, does it?
This does. This
Tell
has
me it doesn't.
Oh, and that
No
one
way.
does?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I
thought
think
the originals
the original old school Xbox did not have HDMI. Obviously.
Yeah. But this is the
Yeah,
Gen
because-
1. This is the Gen 1. It was retrofitted with HDMI
Correct.
when I got it fixed. So,
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
they gave you a little bit of an upgrade.
Yeah,
'Cause I was
it's
about to say,
cool.
I didn't think the 360 originally had HDMI.
yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Right.
Oh,
That is tight.
God.
So I mean, the Halo 3 multiplayer is so very well known. Its weapons are so well, like thought out, and the addition of new weapons in Halo from Halo 2 to Halo 3, the dropping of the Needler dual wield from Halo 2 to Halo 3.
Dude,
That
I
was
kind of
a-
missed that. I
I
kind of
did
missed
miss
that.
It was kind of cheap, bro. So
In multiplayer, yeah, it was. Multiplayer, it was so cheap. But
let me just
Oh,
like
God.
shove you through it full of needles that are going to
Absolutely.
eventually explode.
And you
Like,
only need 8.
yeah, you only
You
need
only
8,
need
and
8
like
to take
it
'em out.
fired like 4 per half second. Like, it fired
Yeah.
8 a second from both of them. So it's just like fuck.
It's like if you weren't getting out of the way, you were doing it
That's
wrong.
it. That's it. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, when anybody asks me, what is your favorite game of all time? I think that my go-to peanut butter and jelly, nobody's ever going to say anything wrong about it, is Halo 3.
Yeah, totally.
Halo 3 may be my favorite video game of all time.
I mean, it's. I don't even want to say it's a safe choice because that sounds like a shitty thing to say, but it's. What's wrong with it? You know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with Halo 3? Not a
does.
lot.
Johnson dies, yeah.
Johnson does. That's what's wrong
Okay,
with Halo
I
3.
understand that. I understand, but I understand why they did it too. You know, he needed to die. That needed to be the weight of the game. That needed to happen to show you just what's at stake here. You know, and just how still vulnerable humanity is. You know, we can't have these. The only untouchable character can really be Master Chief, and even
Right.
he isn't untouchable.
Right.
So it just reminds you of, oh shit, yeah, we're still trying to save people, and these just are people as well. So I really do think it needed to happen, as much as I miss his wonderful one-liners. But then we got Nathan Fillion filling in. So,
Right, yeah. Nathan Fillion.
it's whatever.
He filled the shoes.
It's okay. I mean, it's not Sergeant Major Avery Johnson, but it's totally fine.
It'll do, I guess.
It's amazing, you know.
I also got to say that Halo 3 has a special place in my heart because of the fact that people said absolutely wild shit to me on the online video game Halo 3.
I learned, I think, about 75% of my racial slur vocabulary in the Xbox Live Marketplace.
That's true.
It's,
That's true. It's not even like a joke. Like, that's correct. Like,
I heard words that I had to look up. Like, it was
yeah, dude.
I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And obviously none of them bear repeating. But
Yeah.
I just, oh my god, I became a man in the Xbox Live Marketplace. I
And
became
those
a
Halo
man.
3 lobbies, man.
Those Halo 3 lobbies
Dude,
were
oh.
something else. Apparently my mother is very promiscuous, and I did not know that.
Right?
for better or worse,
I didn't
now
know.
you do. For better or worse, now you do.
Oh my god.
You know, I think that it was cool that they, you know, you could play the campaign as Chief and Arbiter, and you could then have a Spartan soldier and a Sangheili soldier.
No, it was
if
two
you did-
elites. It was two elites.
Oh, dope! Even better
Yeah.
if you did, you know, 4-player. It is a great game story wise. It is a great game multiplayer wise, and what a soundtrack! I know that we had Conduit on the show tonight, so I figured we had to spend some time talking about the Halo 3 soundtrack.
Yeah. I'm going to describe it in one word. Emotional. 100%.
Very,
pure
very
emotion,
emotional.
you know?
I would go with choral.
And I will even say the moments when there is no music are more important than those with.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to tell you to pay attention. You know what I mean? Like,
How
this
about
is
it?
serious shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I still listen to the Warthog Run music while I'm at the gym all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, are you
Come
kidding
on.
me? That was so good, dude. Oh my god.
There's almost that meme of like dudes in a bathroom or in a hallway with a
Just doing that.
Oh, I love it so much. That would,
Oh,
you
no.
know, the problem is if we all went to the same school, that would have been our dumbasses.
Correct.
Singing the Halo theme. And
That would have been it. Oh,
I love
God.
that. You know,
I am
I
so
just-
surprised by just the acoustics of some of these bathrooms. I'm like, God
Oh,
damn.
yeah,
like, you
totally.
can't even get that sound in like high-end studios
Yeah.
sometimes.
I was terrified to
Jesus.
poop in my school bathrooms for exactly that reason.
Oh, right, yeah.
that's
You
how
know, for
Col-
when you're not in there singing the Halo sort
Yeah.
of theme. You know?
I was gonna
Sometimes I
say,
did that as a
It's
cover.
not coming out your...
yeah, he sang to cover it up. Oh!
Either that or it was, you know, the theme song was coming out from a reverse
yeah.
angle, you know?
That's a deep bass right there.
That's the war drums. Oh my god.
So, I mean, I think Halo 3 was memorable in every way, shape, and form, from its music to its characters, to its game modes, to its heartbreaking story, to the new vehicles that were introduced, to the new guns that were introduced into the game, and I still remember riding my first chopper. I love that thing, bro. So and the brute weapons and the gravity hammers. It's the the ability to take control of the ships and use them against your friends in multiplayer and in Forge mode. So Dude, incredible. Such an incredible experience.
There's one level in Halo 3 that just makes me so happy. We keep talking about the vehicles. I was adamant in big team battles and everything that I would be driving the vehicles because I did all the vehicle stuff. I did all of it. To the point where when we would play in our clan groups, by the way, that was the introduction of like multiplayer clans and shit like that. So for a lot of people, and it would be to the point where I would get escorts to vehicles through like people in my clan because if I could get in the tank, we win. You know, that's it. So it was so fucking fun. And there's one level in the campaign, I forget, they're on this desert planet that I could play over and over and over again. They're on this desert part of the Halo ring, I think. And there's this part where there's 3 scorpions. And you're obviously piloting one of them, and then 2 Marines and 2 scorpions come on either side of you. And it's just you have to fight like 6 wraiths. You have to fight a scarab. Like, it's just so fucking cool. This was the first time that we got to fight a scarab outside of like a special event. They just became normal fixtures in Halo, and that was
for you
so
just to tear apart.
That was so crazy. The first time that happened, I'm like, oh no.
No. Chief figured out how to blow up scarabs. You better watch the fuck out.
Oh yeah, I just remember when we were playing 4-player multiplayer campaign, 3 scorpions, and I hijacked a wraith, and it was it. There was no losing with that configuration. It was dummy powerful.
Stupid good.
God, that level's so good. And then when the Forward Unto Dawn comes down and blows away all the wraiths and everything, and like, oh my god.
And I'll be damned if they don't put that bitch right back together in Halo 4.
Yeah.
When Halo 4 started, I'm like, wow, what's happened? How's Chief? And they're like, the Forward Unto Dawn. I'm like, y'all put that shit back together already? Okay. All right, I guess.
Yeah. Like, crazy. I mean, now it's the half of the Forward Unto Dawn. They have to call it something else because it can't be the Forward Unto Dawn again. So
what's it get called?
Forward
in Halo 4?
I don't know.
Something other stupid. Hold on.
The Forward Unto Midday because it's like halfway.
Shut your fucking stupid face. Unbelievable.
Forward Unto Noon.
Now, right?
I just it's gonna bother me if I don't figure it out, So.
Oh yeah, totally.
No, it's the Forward Unto Dawn. Something in UNSC Infinity is the only other ship I'm saying in here.
There's the notable ships I think are the Pillar of Autumn.
Pillar of Autumn, that's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah, that was you had to blow that up in Halo 1.
Yeah, that was where you woke up in Halo 1, I think.
Good stuff. I mean, I just think it's such a great series of games, and it might be a little tough to access nowadays, so I think that what Conduit did is how you should, go back and check out the storyline of these games or watch somebody play it to get the experience of what you have to deal with and what you have to overcome.
Oh, totally.
To play it.
Or
but I would do anything to play Halo 3 again.
You could play the Master Chief Collection.
Bro.
That's the beauty of the Master Chief Collection is you can play all these games in chronological order without stopping.
Yeah,
true.
Which is so cool. To go immediately from the end of Halo 2 to the beginning of Halo 3 is so cool. It makes it so much more interesting.
And coming from someone who just started playing the Master Chief Collection, on my PC, or just in general, but on my PC, it has been such a wild ride seeing these games running on competent, hardware.
Oh, they look so much prettier, dude.
You know, like, and me saying that, like, my computer is, you know, she's an old girl, but she gets the job done. You know,
Sure.
I respect her for that.
Yeah, you don't even need that big a computer to do
and
it.
it's like I sometimes forget that, you know, the 360 was literally a potato. You know,
the 360
in a plastic case. You know,
Our phones are more powerful than the Xbox
absolutely.
360
by a factor of 10, I'm sure.
Exactly. So, and they look pretty decent on the Xbox 360. You know,
Right, yeah.
So it's just so cool to have it all back and to just experience it again. I think that all four of us, me, you, Nicole, and Z, we should all do that. We should all play Halo 3's campaign.
That would be fun.
I'm down. Sign me up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. As soon as my monitor gets here and I get set up,
Cue
I'm down.
cue the
Let's
cue the
fucking
tournament
go.
theme again.
yeah, right.
Ba-da-da-da.
Oh
Ba-da-da-da.
god, we just form our own clan and just go MLG like it's fucking
Yeah,
2009.
God.
I gotta set my field of view right.
Oh wait,
I'm already wearing my
Colton,
Doritos shirt. I just need Mountain Dew.
Colton,
That's right.
didn't we promise Nicole that we were going to touch on 360 no scopes?
Yes, we did.
Oh.
They exist. You spin around in a circle and you shoot someone with a sniper rifle in the head without zooming in. 360 no scope. All right.
Awful.
All right,
God.
that's the Tryforce podcast.
What a time in our history.
God, running
I-
around screaming that at people is just so good sometimes.
I definitely want to start off by thanking Conduit for being here this evening. Thank you for joining us 100%.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Yeah, and obviously, we normally spend this time of our podcast, as you, an avid listener, during your sleepless nights would know, that we
Oh yeah.
that we plug during this time. So please, we'd like you to have the floor and plug wherever the folks can find you, anywhere doing anything.
Word. Okay. Well, there's a few places. I'm pretty active over on my Twitter, at conduit_EDM, as well as my Instagram. There's some funny shit going down every once in a while. That is also at conduit_EDM. You can find me over on Twitch, official_conduit. And you can listen to the tunes just about anywhere you listen to your music. So if you look up Conduit and look for my silly face, which you don't know what it looks like because this is an audio format.
Sure.
He kind of looks a little bit like Peanut Butter Gamer. Like
Peanut butter game.
Wow, why are you gonna do this, man?
I get shaggy often.
I can see that. I can see that.
There's
I
a
get,
shaggy
like-
energy about you, but I don't know. I
There's-
think that
there's
you're
like shag.
Zoinks.
I think that you're you, man. And
yeah,
I
totally.
think you're one of the coolest dudes out there, and I'm so glad that you came out here.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
This is
The feeling is mutual.
And you know what?
Absolutely.
I will say before we completely leave Halo 3, this is also a prime example of how important this game is to our generation, because we can make friends and make these unbelievable lasting friendships without ever meeting a person. And a lot of
Yeah.
this shit happened in Xbox Live Marketplace. So,
Yeah.
like, it's so fucking cool, you know? Oh, it's awesome. I love it so much.
And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys. I love you guys out there who are listening right now so much. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Tryforce podcast. You can find us anywhere that you get your podcasts. You can also find us on Twitter at the Tryforce _. And you can find us on Instagram at the Tryforce. So we are unfortunately going to need to sign off and finish the fight somewhere else.
Absolutely. Stay tuned. Find out what happened to Reach.
Oh shit!